talked about how important face-offs are, and we look at it. Andrew Mcmeekin, who had a great season last year, and Maryland's going to go with Shea Keethler out there, number 25 for the opening draw. You look at what those two have done, over 60% combined this season. Face-off win for the Terps, and we're off. Tigers and Maryland, top 5 matchup. Princeton coming in number 5 in the media poll. Maryland coming in at number 2. Keethler puts it on the turf.
This is going to be a key part of the game.
Zach Whittier out of Georgetown Prep. Colin Burns, Nate Kabiri out of Georgetown Prep, so a lot of familiarity.
Back to the face-off X we go. Keep an eye on the wings as we talked about pregame. Mcmeekin did not have the percentage he wanted. Last year, he was a key part of Princeton's success, not only winning face-off. When you look at both of these teams, there's a lot of parallels, and the offensive prowess is one of them. You start sliding from these attackmen, they get open, they can get dangerous and get on a roll. So sometimes you have to leave that one-on-one matchup at the midfield and hope you can make the stop there.
Face-off violation against Keethler, so the Tigers awarded position.
That left wing, especially a man-up situation, set shot. But year 2 with Burns and Kabiri. Burns and Kabiri, you talked about, they played together at Georgetown Prep. They came with built-in chemistry. They've built that now with the 3rd cog in the wheel, a big cog in the wheel.
And you wonder if maybe he was waiting for the slide that never came?
Might have been. You have to watch out for Stamos. Stamos had a truck stick last week against Syracuse that made my jaw drop. He is a strong, strong midfielder.
If you like strong athletic midfield play, this is going to be a fun game to go. The Big Ten Freshman of the Year. Last year, 41 points. 96 points for the junior from Marietta, Georgia. He's the Terps' active career leader. Back to Shea Keethler and another face-off win by Andrew Mcmeekin, who's won 4 out of 5 so far.
I think you can tell Mcmeekin had himself a week at practice, studied the film.
We're out there on attack over the past couple of seasons, and then they've got a couple of transfers. Bryce Ford, number 24, 162 points in his career at Fairfield. Matthew Keegan, nearly 50 points each of the past 2 seasons at Binghamton.
Jack McDonald with the ground ball. He stood out last week.
Andrew Mcmeekin, the big 6'1" junior out of Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. We told you the stats earlier last year. First year as the Tigers' primary face-off man. 8 goals, including a stretch in the middle of the season where he scored in 5 consecutive contests. Big reason why the Tigers were over 50% of the face-off X as a team for the first time since 2012. Face-offs plagued the Tigers in those last few losses against Maryland. Today, Mcmeekin's won 5 out of 6.
You always hear like bigger, faster, stronger. Andrew Mcmeekin.
Check, check, check.
Exactly. He checks all those boxes, and he's brought all of those facets to the face-off X. He can deadlift 700 pounds.
And has one of the best shots on the team.
So the lacrosse stick's pretty light in his hands, I would say. As we were going to break, I said 3-2 Tigers. Obviously, 4-2 Tigers after the McAsee goal. Tremendous shot from up top for number 91 as he continues to rise up the ranks in Princeton history.
So Coulter McAsee, 3 more points. He's got 2 goals, 1 assist. So as far as points, McAsee now passing Chris Massey. 8th place on the Tigers' career list. Next up for him, Tom Schreiber at an even 200 points.
The names on that list are impressive, so to even approach those.
Part of that is because you look at the guys that were out there on attack over the past couple of seasons, and then they've got a couple of transfers. Bryce Ford, number 24, 162 points in his career at Fairfield. Matthew Keegan, nearly 50 points each of the past 2 seasons at Binghamton.
Jack McDonald with the ground ball. He stood out last week against Syracuse. A huge game in terms of ground ball.
Aitken Salisbury School by way of Kings Academy in West Palm Beach, Florida. First career point for the junior.
I expect both teams to just continue to have that green light when it comes to shooting. I wouldn't say either goalie's off to a great start, but wow.
Ryan Croddick might be.
That can get you going. Comes from veteran leadership. It's effective.
McNaney, a couple of years ago, national semifinal en route to that national championship in 2022. 19 saves against the Tigers. That's still his career high. Princeton had an early 2-goal lead, but Maryland has come back to tie it as we start the second quarter here on Sherrod Field.
Is looking, as close to directly in the sun as you could be. So tough to find a bouncing ball like that, especially when it hangs up at eye height.
Face-off violation against Mcmeekin. First time he's been. That'll be the second of the day, 6th of the season for Erks, the Tewaaraton watch list member. Huge face-off here. Maryland, a little bit of momentum, 4 consecutive goals. Koby Ginder had to come in to take this face-off, cleanly won by the Terps after the violation on Mcmeekin last time. One of the major rule changes this year, and now Maryland will take a timeout after they had possession, but John Tillman didn't like what he saw. First aid in Aitken, and now his running mate on that second midfield, Jack Schultz, the freshman from Ridgewood, New Jersey, first career goal.
And the distribution of scoring. You talk about no one on the team being top 60 on Maryland's all-time scoring list, and you kind of see why. There's a lot of parity roster-wide. So that's really hard to guard against when you have people scoring their first career goals else. And you look at game plans, and sometimes it's got to stop Spanos, got to stop Erks, we'll dare everybody else to beat us. Well, everybody else is getting theirs today.
Mcmeekin against, what is Keethler back out there, so the hold must not have been on him. It wasn't a violation anyway.
Assisted by number 24, Bryce Ford.
Maryland a chance, stat and X. Princeton won 6 of the first 7 face-offs. That number as we head into the second half, 7 apiece. Violation against Mcmeekin, opening possession here in the to 37 points and second team All-Ivy accolades. That's Chad Palumbo.
And Palumbo, like many recruits that are playing midfield for Princeton, are really attackmen. Came in as attackmen out of high school, and what Matt Madelon has done is just try to build versatility in the skill sets.
7 points, that was second in the nation among freshmen. Virginia's Millen McCabe, the only freshman with more, and then 32 goals, the only 2 Princeton freshmen with more goals as a freshman, Michael Sowers. So only 1 ahead of him, pretty good company.
Yep.
It's one great thing about college lacrosse, right? Somebody said no directional schools, right? If you're one of these programs, you do get those top 10 matchups, right? You've got Princeton, Maryland today. You've got Cornell taking on a top 15 team in Denver.
How about the noon slate today? Unbelievable.
Pretty good. Princeton controlled the face-off, and then down on the turf, did they kick it?
These veterans, they know when they need to step up. They know when maybe, hey, I can step back right now. I'm getting a little bit shut off because not only am I being shut off, but I can take maybe Princeton's best defender out of the teeth of the defense if I sit behind the cage. The switch worked for Maryland. Beautiful job in the 2-man game.
Shea Keethler with the clean face-off win, and then being harassed from behind by Mcmeekin, but it'll stay with the Terps. Talk about Spanos in big situations. Maryland squeaking by Loyola in overtime, 8-7 a couple weeks ago. Spanos 4 goals in that one. Staff at Dartmouth. One of the Dartmouth players, one of their starters on attack, is his younger brother Hopper. Kind of a cool storyline in the Ivy League.
Yeah, and as he coaches them up, I'm not going to want to face that defense late in the season. That is, Ajax Zapatello, seriously, just put on the tape, go to YouTube, find him. It's some of the best defense you will ever see.
Great move by Sean Creter off the face-off win. 10 seconds left on the Princeton extra man. And Creter single-handed.
We talk so much about the defense, and rightfully so. But this offense is tough, really tough to just figure out. We talked about just the distribution of scoring today. Who do you focus on and when?
Mcmeekin can find his father, Chris, who's Lehigh's all-time career scoring leader. Cameron, 2 years ago, 21 points, hat trick in the Ivy Championship. Last year, 21 points, hat trick in the Ivy Championship.
Plays big in big spots. He's been consistent. Comes from a lacrosse family, as we talked about.
So the Tigers get one back.
Princeton in his career at Maryland.
Daniel Kelly, the 4th Terp to record his 2nd goal of the contest, and it's 12-7 Maryland. That lead back up to 5. Big face-off here. It'll be Creter out there to take it. 50-50 ball. Matt Madelon talked about it, not one-on-one. It's 3 versus 3, and it ends up with Friedman. Here comes Jackson Green. Unsettled situation. Got his first career goal last week. Coughs it up. Mackesy hits Schaller in the helmet. Daniel Kelly, the 4th Terp to record his 2nd goal of the contest, and it's 12-7 Maryland. That lead back up to 5. Big face-off here. It'll be Creter out there to take it. 50-50 ball. Matt Madelon talked about it, not one-on-one. It's 3 versus 3, and it ends up with Friedman. Here comes Jackson Green. Unsettled situation. Got his first career goal last week. Coughs it up. Mackesy hits Schaller in the helmet.
Michael Sowers at the top of that list, who actually had his career here cut short because of COVID and finished up down in Durham for the Duke Blue Devils.
Lost probably 10 or 11 games off what would have been his career.
It would have been one of those untouchable Cal Ripken-like stats.
302 points for Sowers in basically 3 full seasons.
It's crazy when you thinking just playing make it, take it. Improbable doesn't even begin to describe it.
Mcmeekin jumped early, trying to get a head start. That'll give it back to Maryland with 2.5 minutes to go.
And Mcmeekin can't take the next one. Loss.
Koby Ginder for the Tigers. Shea Keethler, who's had a nice day for the Terps. A.J. Larkin off the face-off wing with 30 seconds to go in the contest.
Obviously,